All right, guys, quick update on day three of conductor training here in McDonough, Georgia for Norfolk Southern. Going back over our schedule, going to start in here again at 7 a.m. 7 to 4 was the schedule that we have. The class that's coming in this coming week is going to be second shift. We will remain on 7 to 4, so you'll either be 7 to 4 or 4 to 1 for your schedule when you come down. So again, I'm in F1, so I started my day off in e-learning. E-learning is like a giant study hall where they let you go over your electronic learning, which is kind of an electronic lecture, and then has a knowledge check at the end so you can kind of test what you just covered. The lecture came shortly after that for 2 hours. So I was inside the entire morning for this way. And that's something to keep in mind too. If you're going to be inside during the morning and things like that, you don't have to worry about putting your boots on and all your PPE and stuff like that. You can wear your tennis shoes and jeans and whatever it is and then change after lunch. But you'll figure out the flow of that once you get in here. Lecture for this day was on power brake law. Power brake law was essentially going over doing a class 1 brake inspection and what's entailed in that. So we did that in class. So in my case, I ended up doing the e-learning for the lecture prior to it. That way, when they asked questions, I could answer the questions for power brake law. Now, after we went to lunch, we came back and we went to D, which is car basics. They take you down in the bay and show you what a box car looks like, the different types of cars, and all of the different parts attached to it, the distances you have to stay around it. After that, we went into communication. Communications is a radio class where they teach you how to speak to your engineer or anybody else, your yard master, somebody from maintenance, how to queue up with a radio and get really comfortable with it, because when you're working for the railroad, you are using that radio as your primary source of contact the entire time, and there's an appropriate and approved way to do it. So that's what that class is going to be for. After that, we went to the static station. The static station is a simulation of the back of a boxcar, and it's got a handbrake on it, platforms, side ladders, end ladders, cut levers, all those things are in that area. Air hoses to be able to put those together, and they walk you through all the different switches that you can throw, and you kind of run a circuit. I don't want to call it an obstacle course, but it's basically every part of that car and also the yard that you're going to be in. And then the last section here that we had was C, was model railroad. Model railroad is a small room that they have that has an actual model railroad in there. But what most people don't realize is that model railroads are actually to scale. So the things that are applicable out there on the track is exactly the same. So if you're throwing switches to get you to go to a certain track, what you see on the actual model railroad is exactly the same.